I like beer cause it is good. I drink beer because I should. If there was a song to sing, I sing it and beer you bring. Let's go drink some beer!
Well, hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Homebrew Review. Very excited because this is the first review I'm going to be doing in my new pad. Here we go. If you want a proper tour of the place, then check out my Homebrew Wednesday video a few weeks ago and I'll have given you the guided tour then. So, without further ado, let's get on with the review, shall we? So today's kit, as I'm sure you already know, is the Cooper's Australian Pale Ale. The can looks like this. So, yes, it is another Cooper's, but you know, they are a very popular brand, so I thought, what the heck, let's do another one. The Pale Ale, this is actually based on a beer that you can buy out in Australia really commonly. It's like sort of the staple thing, you buy it bottled, and apparently it's still fermenting in the bottle when you buy it. It's quite interesting. So a friend of mine who went to Australia for a while told me that. Yeah, so like I said, this is another one from the Cooper's collection. Done me pretty proud so far, so let's give you a little bit more information about when and how I brewed this before we get into the taste test. So, this was bottled on the 2nd of May 2012, so that's just, well, crikey, almost getting on for 6 months old now, which is really quite a long time. I've been putting off reviewing it for a while actually. I'm not sure why, obviously with the house moving and everything else I've just been quite busy. So I brewed this using 0.5 kilograms of brewing sugar and 0.5 kilograms of light spray malt, which as you guys probably know by now is pretty much the standard combination of sugars that I use when I'm doing these kits. I prefer to use a bit more extract. The cans are only 1.7 kilograms, so they need a little bit more malt in there just to kick up the body a bit, I think. Yeah, so that's what I tend to basically use all the time with that. The original gravity was 1.036 and the final gravity was 1.006, giving us an ABV of 4.6%. I primed it with brewing sugar, and like I said, I bottled it in PET plastic bottles like I normally do. Made 40 pints, and the per pint price works out at 44p, which can't be bad. So there you go, that's the boring stuff out of the way. So here is the bottle, using my standard brown PET bottles. Not that you can tell a lot from the bottle, so let's crack her open and have a look, shall we? Ooh. Now, that wasn't a lot of carbonation, as you can hear, so I'm a little bit concerned about this. Let's probably can afford to be quite... oh dear. Ooh. Now, this is pretty much the problem I've had with this kit all along. I think I know the reason why it's such poor carbonation. I mean, look at that. That's really not very carbonated at all. I'll get a torch out, shine it through. It's not overly clear either, quite a lot of chill haze in there. Doesn't look particularly appetizing. It almost looks on the green side. Anyway, as I was saying, I let this clear for a while before I bottled it, and I think the problem with that is a lot of the yeast fell out of suspension. Basically I was trying to get clear of beer. This was a brew I did quite a while ago. I was still quite inexperienced in the whole thing, so I was trying to clear it down to try and stop it being so hazy or whatever. Now the problem with that, because I thought it would condition quicker as well in the bottle, the problem with that is a lot of the yeast fell out of suspension, which means there wasn't a lot of yeast left to kickstart the carbonation in the bottle. As a result, it's quite poorly undercarbonated, which is a bit of a disappointment. I like my beers fizzy, but let's see. So you can see pretty much no head at all. Not great. Let's give it a whiff. Yeah, you can smell a slight hoppy aroma, but nothing massive either. Almost smells a bit like sort of stale lager. It's I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not holding much hopes about this. But without further ado, let's dive in and have a taste test, shall we? It's not overly unpleasant. This is a weird one. It's almost crossed between a lager and an ale, but I kind of wouldn't say it particularly takes the best of either of those things, if I'm honest. Slight hoppy aftertaste, really not a lot of hops in there at all. If I was to brew it again, which I'm not sure if I will at the moment, I would probably add a few more hops in just to give it a bit more of a kick. The carbonation actually sits okay. Actually, it's not that carbonate, but that it's not too bad actually. It sort of tastes alright for the body of the beer, which is quite good. Let me have another try. So yeah, like I said, it almost as if it doesn't quite know what to make its mind up as to what it wants to be. It's not really a lager, it's not really an ale. Kind of get, smells a bit like a lager. You kind of get almost that initial ale hit, and then you get a bit more lager undertones afterwards. Yeah, it's a bit of an odd one. There's not a huge amount of taste to it really. It's very, very subtle, the taste. It's not unpleasant. Don't get me wrong. If you were out, you know, on a night out or at a party and you were sort of chugging these down, then you'd be okay. You know, you wouldn't dislike the experience at all. However, if it's a pint that you want to sit in and really sit down and enjoy, I would look elsewhere, if I'm honest. This is not really gonna float your boat in that sense of the word. So my recommendation on this one, have it as a session beer, and I would probably suggest adding some extra hops in there as well. It's very, very light taste, not a lot of taste to it. If you like your hops, you really want to stick a bit more in there. Yeah, so I suppose I'm going to have to give this a rating, aren't I? Well, let me have one more sip before I do that. So, put that down for a moment. I think I'm going to give Cooper's Australian Pale Ale a rather disappointing 5 out of 10. There are so many better brews out there. You know, just check a look at some of my other reviews, any of the other Cooper kits I've done. Knock the spots off this one. I know this is their flagship ale. It may be the fact that me leaving it to clear for a while, you know, that might have done it some mischief, and maybe if I'd have bottled it straight away it would have tasted better. But you feel that 6 months in the bottle now, it really should taste better than that. I'm not convinced. If anyone else has brewed it and got really fantastic results, then please let me know. If you've done anything else special, maybe just stick some dextrose in there rather than the light spray malt. But for me, it's not doing a lot. I probably won't bother to buy it again. I feel there's a lot better kits out there. I personally would rather go for the Cooper's Australian Lager if you're looking for something light and refreshing for the summer. Yeah, definitely that. Even the Mexican lager would probably be better than this, I would say. Yeah, very, very disappointed. I'm not going to lie to you. But hey ho, can't win them all, can you? So then, cheers everyone. Apologies that the beer's a little bit disappointing today, but you know, like I said, can't win them all. So until next time, take care, and remember, it's not brewed to be looked at, so get drinking. Cheers.